Good morning and welcome back. The best essays never chase the news, they interpret it. Today we take an aphorism the paper is warming up to, in a family it can no longer avoid, and turn it into an argument you can build in 3 hours. I want you to hold your pen, keep a rough sheet beside you, and treat the next few minutes as a working session, not a lecture. By the end, you should be able to open, argue, and close on this topic. And you should be able to see the craft that lifts a script from the middle band into the top band. Here is the topic. The algorithm reads the file. The republic must read the face. It sits in section B, socioeconomic. But in that bare, aphoristic voice the paper now prefers, no headline, no question. Just a sentence that carries a whole argument inside it. The theme family is technology and the modern self, an area the paper has visited in 2020, 2021, and 2024, and the heat is ascending as artificial intelligence enters governance, courts, and welfare. Read the topic twice, slowly. Notice the two verbs, reads and reads, and the two objects, the file and the face. That quiet symmetry is where the essay is hiding. Let us decode. The algorithm is the machine gaze, tireless, uniform, and blind to context. The file is the citizen reduced to fields, a shape the machine can read. The republic is not the government of the day. It is the constitutional we, a promise to see every citizen as a person. And the face is what the state must never lose sight of. The actual human, with a life behind her and a claim in front of her. The tension the topic sets up is not technology against tradition. It is efficiency against recognition, scale against dignity, the file against the face. Fix a one-line thesis before you write a word. Mine would run like this. A republic that lets the algorithm replace its gaze forfeits the trust that makes governance a moral act. And so artificial intelligence must be an instrument that widens the state's recognition of every citizen, not a substitute for it. Notice what that thesis does. It refuses both easy positions. It does not romanticize the past, and it does not fear the future. It holds one honest tension, and it commits to arguing that tension end to end. Your thesis will be your own, but it must be one line, and every paragraph you write must serve it. Now build the dimensions. Start historical. The Indian state has always mediated its citizens through records, from the settlement register to the ration card, and now the digital ledger. Records are shorthand. They were never meant to be the citizen. Move to political. The constitutional promise of dignity, held together by Article 21 and by the right to privacy, is about being seen, not merely being counted. Then take economic, and here you must concede the real gains honestly. Direct benefit transfer, the unified payments interface, and digital identity have widened reach and cut leakages. And no serious essay can pretend otherwise. Then step to ethical, where the file misreads the outlier. The widow whose thumb has faded. The pensioner the system marks dead. The migrant whose address the database cannot hold. Then move to legal. And this is where a recent, real anchor lifts the essay. Because our own Supreme Court has just spoken. Take global next, because the debate is planetary and India is at that table. Then cultural. And here you may draw quietly on the Indian civilizational instinct of darshan, of mutual seeing, of a state that must look at the citizen as the citizen looks back. Close with a forward looking dimension. Build the technology, yes, but build it with sight, not with blind speed. 6 to 8 dimensions like this, each answering a question the last raised, are how a script feels like one argument and not a list. Order matters. Historical opens breadth. Ethical raises stakes. Legal lands weight. Global gives scale. Cultural gives depth. And the forward looking close gives vision. Now, the anchors, and here is where an average script and a top script diverge. Deploy a fact, then interpret it in your own line. Do not stack them. First, a very recent legal anchor. On the 2nd of July 2026, in Pooja Ramesh Singh versus Jammu and Kashmir Bank, our Supreme Court set aside a tribunal order because it had rested on case law that a language model had invented. The court called such fake precedents a release of poison in the province of law and justice and declared zero tolerance. Interpreted in one line, if a court can be misled by a confident machine, an ordinary applicant standing in a welfare queue is defenseless. Second anchor, the scale of ambition. The India AI mission, sanctioned at about 10,372 crore rupees, has already onboarded more than 38,000 graphics processing units for common compute. Interpret. The compute is not neutral. Whoever owns the gaze will write the rules. Third, the global frame. On the 6th and 7th of July 2026, India joined the inaugural United Nations Global Dialogue on Artificial Intelligence Governance at Geneva and spoke of human oversight, human rights, and preventing misuse. Interpret. The world has finally accepted that this is a public question, not a private one. And India is inside that conversation, not outside it. This is the craft slide, and it is where marks are decided. Do not open with what an algorithm is. Open with a scene, because a scene lets the reader see what is at stake. Picture a small welfare office in a district you have traveled through. An old woman placing her thumb on a scanner that will not read her. A queue behind her that does not know her name. 3 lines like that, and the reader is inside the essay. Then move to your thesis, quickly, without ornament. In the body, when you reach the economic dimension, concede the real gains before you complicate them. Because a balanced essay always meets the strongest counterview honestly before it resolves. The close is where craft is decisive. Do not summarize. Come back to the face. End with the same woman, but with the state now bending to see her, not the other way around. A conclusion that circles back to the opening image feels earned, and the last line lingers. Open with a scene, argue with honesty, close with a return. Here is a model opening line, offered so you have a shape, not a script. You are welcome to rewrite it in your own voice, but keep the movement from scene to stake to thesis. Something like this. In a small welfare office in one of our districts, an old woman waits while a scanner refuses to recognize her thumb. She's present, she's real, and yet the file has already decided that she is not. And it is in that quiet gap between the file and the face that a republic must choose what kind of state it wants to be. Read that again, slowly. It opens on a scene, lands the human stake in one breath, and sets up the thesis without announcing it. That is the shape you want. Do not memorize the line. Internalize the movement, and then write your own. Let us revise before you close the notebook. Decode the topic through its two verbs and its two objects. Fix a one-line thesis and hold it end to end. Build 6 to 8 dimensions in an order that carries the reader from history to ethics to law to vision. Deploy real, sourced anchors and interpret each one in your own line. Because a statistic without a line of thought is a wasted line. Open on a scene, concede the counterview honestly, and close by returning to the face. Do this, and even before you know your marks, you will know you have written an essay that argues. And that is the essay this paper rewards. That is our session for today. The paper does not reward speed. It rewards a mind that is willing to sit with a hard idea and then argue it with grace. Return tomorrow for another topic and another craft lesson. If any of this was useful and you would like a look at the full brief, do drop your email in the comments or write to us at team@upscdesk.com and someone from our side will get back to you. Keep writing and be gentle with the days that feel slow, because the discipline you are building today is the quiet edge you will carry into the hall.